Trevor J. Olson is the secondary bad guy of the 2016 film Central Intelligence. He is a bully to Bob Stone, who humiliated him while Bob was naked from taking a shower in front of the whole school while Calvin Joyner was giving a speech to the school when they were teenagers. Calvin, being the nice guy he is, gives Bob his jacket. Come to think about, Calvin never got his jacket back or saw Robbie Gain until one day. Calvin became an accountant until he got a Facebook message from Bob Stone. After meeting Bob, they go on this journey, but they eventually meet Trevor. Now, Trevor acts as if he has changed, but he still is the same person he was in high school. He eventually met his downfall in the end when he met Bob at the prom, attempting to bully him the third time, but got punched in the face by Bob, who was walking up to the stage with Calvin and his wife Maggie. First bully attempt. In 1996, Robbie Werdick was taking a shower and dancing and singing to his favorite song, My Lovin' You're Never Gonna Get It, and Trevor and his friends watch him dance and tells them Robbie showers during first period. One kid asked, why doesn't he just shower at home like a normal person? And one kid admired his dancing but then said he's different when his friends looked at him angrily. Then he turns off the shower by hitting the off button, and he and his friends grab him and carry him to the gymnasium and throw him out in front of the audience, and he becomes a laughingstock in front of the whole school, much to Bob's embarrassment. But Calvin Joyner, who was giving a speech to the school, gives him his jacket to cover his private parts and feels sympathy for him, along with Maggie, his love interest. Second bullying attempt. 20 years later, Stone and Calvin set up a meeting with Trevor, who is able to track the offshore account for the auction so they can get the deal's location. At first, he apologizes for his misdeed, saying he has found God, only to admit he lied by saying the Oscar goes to Trevor Olson, and laughs in their faces and reveals that he's a Scientologist and eaten free since 2003 and boasts about how he threw Bob out in the gym. But Calvin convinces Bob to stand up for himself and beat up Trevor, but Trevor reminds him of his past, once a fat kid, always a fat kid, and Bob sees him in the mirror of his formerly overweight body and wants to leave and accidentally pulls the door lever. Trevor tells him it's a push and he missed a 50-50 shot. When Bob leaves, Trevor gives Calvin their transaction number and Calvin says, in retaliation, glad to see you hadn't changed a bit. Then angrily starts to mess with the door, licking his fingers and touching it and rubbing his behind on it, etc., until Trevor angrily kicks him out while asking his assistant Jenny to get the Windex in security. Third bullying attempt. Trevor meets Bob and Calvin along with his wife Maggie, again where he begins to bully Bob the third time by cheering him for being king and the naked mascot of the school. Calvin tells him to move, but Trevor taunts him again, and Calvin, having enough, tries to attack him, but Bob stops him, deciding to handle it himself, and says he forgives Trevor for his apology earlier. Then Bob, having enough of his bullying nature, punches him in the face, and Trevor falls to the ground unconscious while Bob says to him, I don't like bullies. But the movie ends with Calvin finally getting his jacket back. Subscribe to the channel. Have a great day.